Everybody wants to be able to do ceiling shots and flip presets and Doomsee dishes, but first you need to stop making these easy mistakes, because this is why you're losing. A much overlooked aspect of Rocket League is the ability to think 2 steps ahead. So many players hit the ball because they're in a rush to get it as far away from their goal as possible, but in reality you just end up giving it straight to the opponents, and then you defend even harder. If you have the space, then use it. Controlling the ball can make your next touch a lot easier, and it will allow your teammates to collect themselves and get into a better position, thus becoming valuable targets to pass to. If a teammate isn't free to pass to, then you've drawn an opponent in by controlling the ball, and you can then proceed to flick or dribble past him, whilst taking an opponent out of the game. Even if an opponent is nearby, you don't have to hit the ball straight away. Simply staying behind the ball and letting your opponent do all the work by hitting the ball into you can enable you to maintain possession whilst taking an opponent out of the game. And that's if they even hit the ball. By pretending to go for it and stopping at the last second, you can fake out a player and they'll send themselves flying past the ball. It's fantastic to watch. Very few people know how to play the third man role. Being a third man means you're the furthest player back on your team and you're the last line of defense. Your most important job in this position is to buy as much time as possible for your teammates to come back and help. This means if an opponent is dribbling and you're on your own, match the pace of them and only go for the tackle once your teammate is back to cover your defense, or you just can't stall any longer because they're about to shoot at a relatively close range. Most of the time you won't even have to make the tackle because one of your teammates will head back and just tackle from the side. If you charge downfield instead and head straight for the ball, leaving no one behind you, then the only way you're not going to concede is if you get a fantastic tackle and the ball heads straight into their half. If your teammates won't be back in time after your challenge, don't do it. Stop hitting every single ball towards the opponent's goal. Please, for the love of God, just stop. I know you're eager to score, but often the best way of scoring is to just take your time and take a longer and smarter route. You should only be shooting at the goal if the odds are pretty high that you're going to score. If your teammate is in a better position to score than you, then just give him the ball. It's a team game after all, and so many times I see players trying to score from the halfway line when I'm waiting upfield for a tasty pass, only for the ball to just be easily saved, and then we just waste a great chance. This one is less obvious, but it's just as important. You never want to be covering more than one role at a time. It's the classic saying, it's better to be great at one thing than average at 2 things. Let's say you're trying to cover your entire goal and your backboard whilst your team is under pressure. Well, any shot in the corner is unsavable, and a well-placed backboard pass is way out of reach, and your teammates are going to struggle to know where they should fit in. Instead, either cover the front post area or the back corner for the backboard. Your teammate can then cover the other option. In Rocket League, at any given moment, every player on the team has their own role, and these roles are always changing. The important thing to remember is that you have one role at a time. This means if you're the player challenging the ball, then no one else on your team should be challenging the ball. Your teammate's on the back post? Great, go somewhere else, he's got that covered. Think back to the previous tip. Which role in your team is currently empty? Is the backboard being covered? No, go cover it then. Anyone not challenging the ball yet when they really should? No, go do it then. The idea is that one person should be doing one role at a time, rather than 2 people covering the same thing. It just leads to double commits, and then there's a huge gap in your team's positioning. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is something a little different. This is just like the start of some new videos and I've got in the works where I'll be doing like tips and tutorials and stuff like that, because I've got a lot of knowledge that I want to dish out to you all, and I've been planning to do tips and tutorial videos for ages, but I'm a lazy bumhole and never got around to it. Let me know what you guys thought of this video, and if you like this type of thing. If you want to see more of these types of videos, then hit the subscribe button and you can see more of these types of videos and future tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff.